Back again. That's right. Here we go. We're in Genesis. Fantastic. So we've just done 2:6. This is on the other video. You want to go check it out. And what we're saying here is that God Father, the creator of everything, including us, has watered the whole face of the ground. Baptism, huh? Let's have a look here. 2:7. And the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So that's the fantastic part that we were just talking about before. Okay, creating life. Okay, no one else can do this but God Father. He is our creator, the one true God. Okay, he created life by breathing the soul into the clay from the soil and the water to make the clay, animate the body. Okay, and Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Imagine that. It's just so fantastic. So the Garden of Eden is the most beautiful place, okay? God created it. Everything's beautiful that God creates. But he created it and he's put Adam over there in the east side. So obviously this place is massive. We've got the north, the south and the west in there, and obviously the centre. But he's over there in the east, and that's where he's put Adam, in a safe place, after he has now breathed life into him through the nostrils, okay? And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So you can say there that the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So we've got the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so that's an interesting thing, and we will speak about this as we come through, that the soil is to be good, okay, for the roots to go into the soil to grow good fruit, okay, from sowing those seeds. And that comes on to us as people as well, how we develop things in our own lives through our own thoughts, okay, what we say, see, listen to, and then I follow through with the action, because we can't forget that it's our thoughts as well. God reads your thoughts. He knows your thoughts. Picture a thought bubble whenever you think. God can hear everything. He's an omnipresent, which means everywhere at once, okay? But having a look there to say, there could be the two trees. Some may say, oh, no, the tree of life is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Well, he's saying and. So really, it could be the tree of life, okay, that's existing in the Garden of Eden, okay, to bring through all the good nutrients into the soil, but also in the midst, of the garden. Tree of life also in the midst. So the tree of life is in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil is also there. Okay, and we'll find out what happens as we proceed. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. Now, if you go look up maps and this, that, and the other, you'll be able to see the 4 rivers that were talked about. Okay, now we know that some of the rivers, like the Euphrates River, is drying up, and that's where they've trapped. God put 4, I believe, of the fallen angels are chained down there. But it's very interesting to see that these things that we're already speaking about from 6,000 years ago, we're finding the evidence of these. We can read the beautiful book of the Holy Bible, and then we go and look to see in our walking life, and we can actually find these places, these temples, these areas, okay? And what we're saying here is the 4 heads of the rivers, and that's why we can try and pinpoint where Eden was before. Okay, we've got time, let's go. The name of the first is Pison. That is, which is compasseth, that's the King James, compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. So it's good that you can see what word I'm trying to say. So there's gold there. Okay, now why does gold become so valuable? Now, at the end of the day, let's just say we had a lot of gold, but somebody was harboring all that gold and only put a little bit of gold on the market. That gold would be very, very expensive. But if we had an abundance of gold, it wouldn't be worth much because everybody could get it, okay, or get to it. So what they do is they find a lot of these minerals, okay, these metals, and the government or who is in control actually hides it away in mass production of hiding it away, and only allows, or not mass production, what am I trying to say? Yeah, they put it into areas where we can't get to it and go, shh, it's not there. Like diamonds, for example, even though people are actually trying to make their own diamonds, you know, reproduce them by crushing and pressure. And that's what they say, the pressure to make the diamonds. They're trying to do that artificially, if you like. But God has created all of these things. And if you go into, as we go into later, all about what heaven looks like, it's full of beautiful gems and opals and stones and just rubies and everything, okay? But what happens is with the gold, there's a mass amount of gold, but they're only distributing small amounts of gold. Now, we have an economy that they're using gold as within the markets, okay? So this helps the world to move, if you like. So people who have gold are going to be able to keep that more than money, as money is just zeros and ones, if you didn't know that. And also, if you don't know about, where's all the 1 cents going? We round everything up to 5 cents or 0 cents, but everything's zeros and ones. Where's the 1 cents going? Who's got it? It's got to be going somewhere. Someone's making a killing, getting all those extra cents and putting it into some sort of bucket. You've got to know about that as well. But obviously, as I said, they drip feed you the gold so it keeps value, all right? And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. So that's the thing as well. Do we have these things in mass production? God gave it to us, but now man's trying to sell it to us and to keep it from us as if it's not ours by birthright. It's already ours. We shouldn't have to pay for it in a financial sense or in a labor sense to go dig it up and get it and have to pay someone else who's then going to tax us on it when it's already a gift from God. It's already ours, okay? And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. So we know Eden's around there. We've got some names in here to tell you where to look and where the rivers are. All right, and let's go. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is which goeth towards the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. We spoke about that, Euphrates River. So we should be able to completely pinpoint where the Garden of Eden is. We should absolutely know. But obviously, it's like a mirage, probably like in the desert. So say you're in the desert and you're really, really thirsty and you see a mirage of something, but it's not really there. Because God can hide things as well as show things. And if you've got eyes to see and you're blessed through Jesus, they will let you see these things. But they will not let everybody see them because they're not for everybody. We'll come back in a second and see if we can get through a little bit more for you. Boop.